So I'm sitting here watching Logger Wait, and Jay Pater had asked me, he said, so what's stenosis, Dan? And I said, well, what is stenosis? It's where the soft tissue, and now spinal stenosis is where the soft tissue around the spinal cord, there's some soft tissue and that hardens and it gets arthritis and it gets scaly over the edges of the bones, and then it starts to solidify and harden. Now, what happens is that little gushy stuff, that little disc gets collapsed, and then you have bone on bone, and then you have stenosis, and that's the narrowing of the spinal cord, or spine around the cord. And I already have a very narrow spinal or canal genetics, and then I have stenosis, which is a type of arthritis, and what that does is it clamps down on the spinal cord. When it clamps down on the spinal cord, and it creates problems. So then you have your nerves that come out underneath the facets of the lamina, which is that big spike thing on the back, like a dinosaur that has that big spike sticking out. That's the lamina. And then underneath that they have the facets. The backbone has the facets, and what that does is it protects the nerve underneath it, and it goes out, and as it goes down from the back, comes out, and the nerves go to your arms and your lungs and your heart, and so all of this is pretty important. It create all kinds of problems. And then as it goes down to the thoracic area from the neck, goes down the middle back, which is the thoracic area, and then it goes into the lumbar, and then it goes on to the pelvis. So what happens is, I've had, we'll go back to the lamina. The lamina is this spinal thing, the big bone that comes out that looks like the dinosaur bone. And as that thins and narrows and comes around, it has a hollow tube that the spinal cord goes through. And then what they'll do is a laminotomy is they'll take and they'll cut one side of the lamina, which allows it to open a little bit and give you some relief. And then another thing they'll do is take and cut both sides of the lamina. Now that's a laminotomy. Laminotomy is cutting one side. Laminectomy is the total removal of the lamina. And then in the lower spine, this time they took I'm not sure if they took the lamina off, but it was bone on bone. So they took and they spread the bone apart and put in a makeshift, it's called a cage, but what it does is it separates the like that cushion in there. So it's kind of a non-cushion. Then they take 2 screws and they put 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on that side, and then they take a rod, and then they attach it to those screws, and that holds those 2 together. Now that's a better than a fusion. They fuse it. They just kind of build up an area where, just like your body would build up a calcium deposit, and kind of fuse them together. Those don't last. I've had screws put in, and that didn't work. As a matter of fact, when the first time I had the screws put in, it went south, and the doctor hit my spinal cord and some of the spinal nerves coming out of the lamina, out from underneath the facets, between the facets, and just, so that was a big thing. I was out for 10 years, couldn't do anything. Long story short, I've been in and had, I can't remember how many laminectomies. I can't remember how many laminotomies. And then they just put in a cage and 4 new screws. The last doctor I was talking to before he moved on he was wanting to put in 8 to 12 new screws all the way from the pelvis all the way up to the middle of the back, and I didn't want that, and I held off as long as I possibly could, and I think I almost held off too long. Like I had said in one of my earlier videos, I had fallen and I could hardly breathe. What had happened is that narrowing around the spinal cord pinched the nerve and wouldn't allow my lungs their full capacity. Just the nerves are mixed up, man. They're messed up. I had several short circuits. They went in and I don't know for a fact, but I know when I woke up I could breathe, and I was breathing heavy, and I could breathe. And I mean, before, it's not like it would hurt. It's just that I couldn't open the airway. It just wouldn't open. I was talking to the anesthesiologist just before the surgery, and he said, yeah, I've got that before. Big guys like you, the fall, they'll collapse the lung. I don't think that's what it was, but that's, hey, he's the one that got paid. He's the one with the big bucks. But anyway, when I came out of surgery, I could breathe really well. And then the lower spine, a lot of the problems with walking and everything, the balance, that's starting to come back already. They did a really good job. I was in enormous amount of pain. Oh my God. They had me on the table, and I don't know how they had me, but it wasn't comfortable when I woke up. But anyway, I'm doing great now. I cannot wait to get out on the motivator. It's been 2 months since I've been out there. Oh my God, I want to get out there so bad. But I just got the okay from the doctor to go walking. I cannot fall. No, I don't blame them. They got as a whole room full of people, and they got a lot of hours in my back, man. Just before I went out, under the anesthesiologist said, okay, take a deep breath. In about 15 seconds, you're going to be going out. And so I breathed in, and I said, 15 seconds, huh? Okay, good night, sweetheart. And just before I went out, I could hear like 4 or 5 people laughing. just that. And I was gone. Oh man, when I woke up, I just, it's hard to believe how much pain you can be in and still, you can't communicate. You can't talk to somebody. You can't communicate what you're thinking, and sometimes you can't understand what they're saying. Man, that was a tough one. But anyway, I'm doing fantastic and can't wait to get out on my tractors again. It's been 2 months since I've even been able to walk down there. But now I can walk. Loving it. So it's Fat Dan again. Been a while since I made a video, and there's good reason. So the wife's taking the dog for a jump. Very talented dog. I can cut this part out, babe.
You!
So what's been happening?
Quit being a dick!
So what's been happening? I had Oh, are you getting wet? So anyway, that's 2 things you got to do. So my exercise is I come out, I touch the tractor, and turn around and go back. So it's my exercise for today, and it's just raining a little bit. It's flooding. It's actually flooding here now. So hey, pig. So yeah, this is probably not going to be a good. Yeah, I'm just yelling at pig. So not much of a video. Can't even see my face. So I can't do anything, and this whole place needs work. I gotta work on my shop. I gotta work on my driveway. I gotta cut grass. I can't do nothing. I gotta heal. I gotta heal first. Serve which relieve the pain, which actually I could breathe again. So that's the reason I was huffing and puffing in the last few videos. And so I'm pretty much learning to walk again. I can't do anything, and this whole place needs work. I gotta work on my shop. I gotta work on my driveway. I gotta cut grass. I can't do nothing. I gotta heal. I gotta heal first.